Welcome to Leadership Speak, an advanced Toastmaster club for leadership development. We are one of the top 5 clubs globally. I am Frances Bowen, your Sergeant at Arms of the meeting. Our club mission, we provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. Our statement, Leadership Speak, is the premier club for experienced Toastmasters to become better self-directed leaders. We are an advanced club focused primarily on leadership development in everything we do. Our timer has virtual hand raised, so we all can immediately see who is keeping the time. Our Toastmaster of the day, who will be leading our meeting, is none other than Toastmaster Irene. Irene has been a Toastmaster for 2 years. She enjoys learning new things that make her become a better leader. But of more value, she believes in committing to others the things she has learned, who will faithfully teach others also. Please help me welcome your Toastmaster of the day, none other than Toastmaster Irene Sidia.
Thank you very much, Sergeant at Arms Francoise. Greetings to all members, our guests, and visitors. Welcome to today's meeting, Embracing Change Through Leadership Succession. 3 weeks ago, the Olympic Games ended in Paris, France. And I would like you to imagine with me our relay team. It has 4 members. There's the person who starts, the 2 in the middle, and the anchor person. That team, whether you know them, whether they're from your country or another country, when you see them run and they execute that race well, you love it. You're cheering for them. You're rooting for them to do well. Today, we want to talk about leadership succession and how that change can work well for all of us. Change and transitions are a constant in our lives. And leaders who understand, embrace, and focus on leadership succession manage the transition effectively and smoothly. They maintain stability and the growth of their team members. Today, we will be passing the baton from me to other role takers today, and we want to ensure smooth transitions. So my first team member that I am passing the baton to right now is our timer. Our timer is Toastmaster Terence Were. Toastmaster Terence, please let us know what your role entails.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster of the Day. As timer, my role will be to keep time based on the agenda. I will flash the following cards based on the agenda. I'll share the colors as you will see my background changing. Back to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Terence. The next person we're passing the baton to is our grammarian. And our grammarian today is Nukawe. Nukawe, please let us know your role today.
Greetings, leaders and guests. My role as a grammarian will be to pay attention and listen to the use of the English language. With that, I have a word of the day, envelope, which means to cover or surround something completely. An example of the word. Self-directed leaders are able to envelope the people they lead against risks that may be destructive due to improper implemented change. Thank you, Madam Toastmaster. Back to you.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Nukawi.
Toastmaster Irene, can I just, when you pronounce it like this, it's pronounced envelope. The word envelope is for the paper thing that you...
Nigel, you will pass, please.
The envelope, and this is to envelop.
Right, Nigel, well noted. Now we want to move on to our very first role taker today, and that will be Toastmaster Claudette to raise the toast. However, before Toastmaster Claudette comes on, I would like to call her evaluator, and that will be Toastmaster Paramjit. Toastmaster Paramjit, the virtual stage is yours.
Toastmaster of the day, if I may, the evaluator for the toast does not usually introduce, we just go right to it.
Okay, thank you very much, Baron. All right, our Toastmaster who will raise the toast today is Toastmaster Claudette. Claudette, over to you.
Thank you very much, Madam Toastmaster. Reflect on the last time you succeeded someone or had to prepare someone to succeed you. Did it go well? Or were there any challenges? Would you have done anything differently? Embracing change through leadership succession can be exciting and full of possibilities or challenges at times. It is a journey of leading, developing, mentoring, and inspiring future leaders. Embracing change through leadership succession is meaningful to me. You may ask, well, why is it meaningful to you? I was asked to succeed Hannah as one of the leaders for our Tuesday meetings. Initially, I hesitated to step out of my comfort zone, but later I saw it as an opportunity to develop, grow, and learn new skills. Leadership Speak encourages, inspires, mentors, and supports its members through leadership succession.
You're muted.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Pause 1 second. Yes. Please
Someone
go back 3 seconds and repeat. Sorry, Claudette.
Okay, I'll try my best now. Embracing change through leadership succession is meaningful to me. I was asked to succeed Hannah as one of the leaders for our Tuesday meetings. Initially, I hesitated to step out of my comfort zone, but later I saw it as an opportunity to develop, to grow, and to learn new skills. Leadership Speak encourages, inspires, mentors, and supports its members through leadership succession, preparing future leaders to step out of their comfort zones. In so doing, we help pave the way for a smoother transition to a much brighter, more resilient future while maintaining our solid values and vision. Will you be a part of this journey? Your unique skills and perspectives are key to our success. I encourage you to join us in embracing change through leadership succession. Now, in the spirit of change, I invite you to unmute your microphones, raise your glasses, and we'll toast to embracing change through leadership succession.
Embracing
Embracing
change
change.
through
Leadership
succession.
Yeah. Scan for explanation. There's just a step further that I'm not understanding.
Thank you. Back to you, Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Claudette, and for sharing the toast with us. I would like to encourage all our guests to fill out the guest form as is shared in the chat. And as our speakers are delivering their speeches when they are done, please encourage them as you share the things that you're learning from their respective speeches. Now, I would like to invite to the stage our leadership speaker for today, and that will be Nicole Miller Douglas. Nicole is going to be evaluated by Vinod Panika. Vinod, over to you. Please let us know the objectives of Nicole's speech.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster of the day. Toastmaster Nicole is presenting a speech from the Pathways Innovation Planning, level 5, and the project is Prepare to Speak Professionally. The purpose statement of the project is for the member to practice developing and presenting a longer speech. The timing is 18 to 22 minutes. And the speaker has requested to focus specifically on transitions. I would request all the audience, if you want to give feedback, do keep in mind. Thank you very much, and back to you.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Vinod. Nicole is excited about her journey in Toastmasters, especially at Leadership Speak. This club has opened many opportunities for her to become a self-directed leader. Her journey in Leadership Speak has brought to her attention some leadership and community gaps that she is now working on. And she is excited to take on the challenge today to be the leadership speaker. Nicole Miller Douglas, Leadership Succession Planning, Leadership Succession Planning, Nicole Miller Douglas. The virtual stage is yours.
Thank you, Toastmaster Irene. Are you all hearing me?
Yes, we are. Thank you.
And are you seeing my slide?
Yes, we
We're
are.
seeing a slide, but not a picture of yourself next to it. And it's not in project mode. It's still, please put project mode on your on your PowerPoint. Yes, wonderful. Amazing. Mute.
And are you seeing me now?
We can see you as part of the group. Let me, if I spotlight you, we might lose your PowerPoint. So would you like, let's leave it like this. Yes, I think it's great.
Okay. Leadership in succession planning. Today, the Leadership Speak Club embraces changes that are inevitable. And one area in which we experience that is in leadership. But the objective of today's speech is, we'll take this form: a definition of succession planning. Why is succession planning important? The evolution and where succession planning started. a model of one of the processes of succession planning, the role of leadership, and then we conclude. One ancient Greek philosopher named Heraclitus, he says the only constant in life is change. It is my opinion that we are all here today because we want to change something in our personal or professional lives. While changes happen in many areas of an organization, today I will only focus on leadership. We know that leaders change because of retirement or attrition. Some persons leave for better opportunities elsewhere, or there might be unfortunate circumstances such as sickness or death that may cause leaders to change. In my opinion, succession planning is an agreed process adopted by an organization involving relevant stakeholders to ensure the effective transition of key leadership roles from one person to another, ensuring a smooth transition, positively impacting business continuity. This notion is supported by the International Journal of Education, e-business, and e-management, whereby it states clearly that succession planning is not an event, but a process that is influenced by many variables internally and externally. And this is according to a recent study. By contrast, the said article indicates that earlier study defines succession planning as the key employee's replacement plan. I want to highlight at this juncture key employees. While I do agree with earlier studies that succession planning includes key employees, I don't necessarily agree with the terminology replacement plan. And as we go throughout this presentation, you'll understand why I say that. Also, real estate consulting firm indicates that there are two types of succession plans. One, I don't agree with, and the other is in alignment to where this presentation is going. According to real estate consulting, two types of succession plans are emergency or contingency plans versus long-term proactive plans that are purposeful, deliberate, and identifies talent and try to close any gaps that have been identified. Now, this emergency and contingency plan is just a quick fix, something that is done on the spur of the moment. As was said before in the presentation, an event, it just happens. But succession planning is not an event. It is a process that takes place over time. So I don't agree with real estate consulting that emergency or contingency planning is one form of succession plan. Also, I refer to ideas put forward by Dr. Aparna Sethi, who is an HR professional and the founder of ProTouch. In her video on succession planning, she compares two theories, succession planning and talent pipeline creation. And she clearly identified the distinction between the two, where succession planning highlights key leadership role. I now transition from using the word key employees to key leadership roles. So it's very important that we identify what are the key leadership role in any organization, whether it be nonprofit or for-profit. Just to give you a brief synopsis of talent pipeline creation, this refers to building competency across all levels, whether it's at the entry level or management level. So talent pipeline creation, in some aspects, supports succession planning, but it cannot be used interchangeably for succession planning. The evolution that has led to the transition today, moving away from emergency or contingency plans, which was what they did in earlier days, in the early 1800s. Emergency and contingency plan, they just replace a leader at the point when the leader leaves. We want to do away with that. And this is supported by LinkedIn, as it declares that waiting until a leadership role needs to be filled can lead to panic and mistakes that we want to avoid. We want to ensure that there's a smooth transition, and hence we come to succession planning. A succession plan model outlined here. There have been several models that I reviewed during my research. But all in all, this model that I put forward summarizes all the other models or include elements of the other models that I've come across. This model is put forward by Academy to Innovate HR, as seen on the slide. So it starts with talent development, where an organization ensures that there are training that takes place across the organization. Assignments are challenging. There is aspect of career planning. It includes job rotation, leadership competency development, moving away from talent development into an identification of leadership talent. This includes multiple methods to identifying high potential managers, assessing managerial bench strength, avoiding some apparent designation, and just including diversity in the mix. Then we move to the next stage, leadership development. Again, doing courses and workshops is another part of the process at this stage. And it's very important that managers are part of these workshops so that they embody and envelope what leadership should look like to the future leaders. Leadership development includes elements such as 360-degree assessment, executive coaching, and so on. And finally, the succession decision, that a pool now exists from which leadership can be replaced when the time comes. So these persons have been prepared. They have been a part of a process, and they are fully equipped to take on leadership role It's very, very important that I highlight at this juncture that the board, it is important that senior level executives are part of the succession planning, that every stakeholder is aware of the process and who is responsible for what, so that where it is that in companies, the board is the one who appoints the chief executive officer, then they would be aware of the process that these individuals, capable individuals, have gone through in order to be eligible to fill leadership role and ensure that the business continues seamlessly. As was mentioned, it is critical that any model at all be driven by leaders. It's like leaders leading other leaders. That is what leadership in succession planning is. In an article entitled How Future Leaders See Leadership by Chuck Hovach, it states, future leaders are looking to exemplary leaders who internalize people-centered leadership qualities to affirm their role in the real world. Here in Toastmasters, we provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. This is a simulation for the real world. Leadership Speak is an environment in which succession planning is supported and nurtured. An environment whereby future leaders can grow and are affirmed in ways that help them to become more self-directed. Effective integration of leadership development and succession planning is important. It is very essential that senior managerial personnel, and in this instance, in Toastmasters, the president, vice president, education, these roles are identified as key leadership roles. And so our current president, distinguished Toastmaster Braham, demonstrates his involvement in the process of succession planning within the club through the organization's mentorship and network, identification, excuse me, let me just go back. Yes, as I was saying before, identification and codifying of high potential persons to take on leadership role. You would have heard from Toastmaster Claudette earlier in her toast of the meeting's theme that she took over a role in the extraordinariness group. Her leadership skills are being honed so that she can be part of that pool of leadership ready to take over should it become necessary. Leadership Speak utilizes high potentials via project-based learning experience. All the projects that we execute throughout our pathways are opportunities to develop high potential within each member. The workshops that we attend, as I mentioned before, there are specific groups that have been created for specific purpose. So these are like workshops within Leadership Speak. Leadership Speak Club embodies the elements of effective leadership in succession planning. I have personally experienced a forum of mentoring for developing high potential among fellow members. This is a first-time experience for me where Toastmasters is concerned, and my journey in Toastmasters prior to Leadership Speak, as I came in contact with the existence of Leadership Speak, I became intrigued by a Toastmasters club that is more focused on developing specific leadership skills, not just for Toastmasters, but in the real world. And we have our master coach, distinguished Toastmaster Bram. In these sessions, there is a supportive culture. In this club, rather, I feel that supportive culture. I have the opportunity to network, and this has really been closing in on some of the leadership and communication gaps that I have identified personally. Also, I experienced one of the best practices in leadership development that has aided me in now clearly seeing that succession planning involves feedback that is 360 degrees. It envelopes everything. I am able to have a more holistic view of what succession planning really entails and growing beyond what I have experienced so far in my community club. In conclusion, leadership in succession planning involves visionary leaders taking the necessary action to impact future leaders, to be willing to take up key leadership roles, and encourages a culture of feedback for continuous growth, development, and performance. Over to you, Madam Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you very much, Nicole, and for walking us through leadership planning, succession, and the lessons that you've learned and that you've shared with us today. You've told us that leaders drive the process. Succession is not an event, it is a process. Thank you very much. I would like to remind us again to just type in the chat to encourage our speakers as you hear the nuggets that they're sharing with us. And of course, for our guests, please fill out the guest book as it's shared in the chat. So we would like to move on to our next speaker. Our next speaker is Hannah Schmidt. And Hannah is going to be evaluated by Ray Rivero. Ray, please let us know about Hannah's project.
Thank you very much, Madam Toastmaster. Today, Hannah will be presenting a level 1 speech, writing a speech with a purpose. The purpose of this project is to learn and review basic methods for writing a speech with a defined purpose, using a well-organized presentation regarding any topic. Hannah has also asked me to check on her body language and vocal variety to see how well those two elements integrated well with her story. Today, Hannah Schmidt will be presenting her speech on, the title is Granny Smith. Over to you, Madam Toastmaster.
Very much. Toastmaster Ray, Hannah Schmidt, Granny Smith. Granny Smith, Hannah Schmidt. The virtual stage is yours.
Jobs fill your pocket, but adventures fill your soul. Jamie Lynn Beatty said these wise words. Who of you have been on that unforgettable, fabulous holiday with a pocket full of hard-earned money and returned home with a soul full of unforgettable memories? Put your answers into the chat. Let's see how you react. We'll talk later. Madam Toastmaster. Absolutely. The jobs did fill my pocket and the adventures did fill my soul. I have saved every spare dollar with the sole purpose of traveling the world as my children have emigrated to New Zealand, the UK, the US, and of course, Germany. Let me, Granny Schmidt, tell you about my adventures with Granny Smith that nearly ruined my holiday. My son Ian invited me to come and visit his family in New Zealand. I arranged all my clothes on my bed. Looking at this, I thought of the advice that my daughter Beatrix has given me. Mother, halve your clothes and double your money. Oh, easier said than done. Well, she has a point. And the purpose? The lighter my travel luggage, the easier for me to carry it and to look after it. Hey, and all that extra money to spend. With a stopover in Johannesburg, I bought 2 Granny Smith apples. I devoured the one, and the other one I put in my bag, my hand luggage for later. After a 14-hour flight full of turbulence and with an extensive sleep deprivation, we landed in Auckland at the crack of dawn. On disembarking, the flight attendant, a very helpful flight attendant, she handed me a form to complete. It started with a sentence on arrival. This card is a legal document. False declarations can lead to penalties, including confiscation of goods. Being a bit more than exhausted after this nightmarish flight, I answered all the relevant questions with a no. And the form ended. I declare that the information I have given is true, correct, complete, and I signed the form. At customs control, I was confronted by an officer. Is this your bag? Yes, sir. A dog was called. He sniffed at my back and said, motionless. All of a sudden, my heart rocketed sky high. I froze solid. I also became motionless. That Granny Smith apple. Madam, please come with me. I was escorted to another cubicle only to face another officer. Mrs. Schmidt, is this your handwriting, your signature? Yes, sir. Do you realize the purpose of this questionnaire? Yes, sir. He pinpoints to the question that reads, do you have any uncooked, fresh, preserved, packaged food in your baggage? I have read all the questions and I have ticked all the answers with a no. Yet, with my sleepiness, I have neglected to read the fine print. And that fine print reads 400 New Zealand dollars for a false declaration. Madam, this contravention is payable on demand now. Officer, this will deplete my money. Please have mercy on me. Be sympathetic. The officer had no mercy. I paid for this unforgivable transgression. Just as well, I'd listened to my daughter Beatrix, who told me, Mother, double your money. Fast forward. Arriving back home, Jamie Beatty's words sprung to mind again. Jobs fill your pocket, adventures fill your soul, and I am adding carelessness, lassitude empties your pockets. Toastmasters, I received the biggest shock in my life that nearly bankrupted me. With an exchange rate in those days, 10-1, a cool 4,000 Namibian dollars for this one Granny Smith apple was debited to my account. That was not my idea of spending my hard-earned money. I learned the hard way, no matter how tired Granny Schmidt is, a Granny Smith will not ruin my holiday. Before you put your $1 million signature on any document, let this sentence alert you. I declare that the information I have given is true, correct, and complete. Yes, it has a purpose. And before signing the document, read the small print. It could save you from a hefty penalty. It all lies in the small print. And my confiscated Granny Smith apple, worth 4,000 Namibian dollars, lies in their trash can. Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Hannah. Well done. You've reminded us that before we put down our $1 million signature, read the fine print. We will move on to our next speaker, and our next speaker is Sandra Volks. Sandra is going to be evaluated by Marie Cousin. Marie, please let us know the objectives of Sandra's speech. Over to you.
The speech of Sandra is about the Engaging Humor Level 3 Project 1. Engaging your audience with humor at 5 to 7 minutes. Give a 5 to 7 minute speech on her point of view on why makes things funny to her. Her speech should include at least one anecdote or story intending to entertain or bring humor into her presentation. Sandra said, "As for me, I hope I am true to my own style of humor that relates some happening in my own life and that reminds people that life is short. We don't need to take it so seriously. After all, laughter is truly the best medicine." Back to you, Madam Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Marie. Our queen, our compassionate queen of straight talk, Sandra Volks. I see a door. I see a door, Sandra Volks. Sandra, the virtual stage is yours.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster. I'm going to try to envelop today's program and envelope, put it in the envelope of humor. And a quote I want to start with is that humor stems from tragedy. That's what Darren Lacroix says, and we all know Darren Lacroix. Oh yes, I believe Shakespeare said it first. Don't you? And Toastmasters International says, humor is one of the most important ways that people share an experience. The funny story, the clever joke, or the wordplay. It's a gift that a speaker gives to the audience. Now, the laughter is the gift returned. Did you get that? The laughter is the gift returned. So please, 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 I really do want to, I really, really, really do want to entertain you with some humor today. And I really need you to send me some smiles and laughter as I hear it. That will be my gift in return from you. Well, I have to tell you, nothing is quite so funny as life. Life is definitely that crazy thing that's happening all the time that we're making plans. Oh, I'm going to do that, and life comes in. I'm going to do, and life comes in. I'm going to be really smooth today. And then life comes in. Ah. But God says that that's when he gets his laughter. God laughs because we're making plans and life is going to happen. Another common saying that I really like is that we have life is too short, so we don't want to be sweating the small stuff. Do you ever sweat the small stuff? Every day? 10 times a day? Sweating the small stuff? Life is too short. The only thing that matters, the only thing that's big, because everything is the small stuff. The only big things are the birth, when you're popping out, and death, when you're popping out. And you do those alone. So that's why I worry about the small stuff. I'm getting over it. And do you know how? I want to explain part of the way that I got over that. Because I don't know how many times people say, Sandra, how can you be laughing all the time? Sandra, how do you keep your energy up? Blah, 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 blah. I didn't always have it. I always had the energy, but I didn't always be free to give it. Because people would get annoyed with me. You know what? They were sweating over the small stuff. Life is too short to sweat over the small stuff. And it's all small stuff. So today's story that I'm sharing is my loss of innocence. My lost innocence. It marked the beginning of the end for me. Yes, it did. You see, I had come through a very painful, nasty divorce. And then I went to a singles dance, and the fellow swept me off my feet on the dance floor. And we got together. His name was Bill, but I always called him Billy Bob, because this man had a personal inner energy and spirit all of his own. And that's what attracted me. Life had always been painful and serious for me. You know, you work hard, you have to do it this way, you have to be perfect this way, you have to be professional or you won't be taken seriously. I've learned that I'm taken seriously because I come down with gravitas when it's time. It was painful being the mother, the child of hard workers, the teacher. Yes, even a saleswoman in a man's world. Everything was expected to be taken seriously, to be a responsible adult, that perfect kind of leader. Yeah, And then I met Billy Bob. Well, much of the time with Billy Bob, I was standing with my eyes big as saucers and my mouth I want to share with you 3 separate little items that happened in my life with Billy Bob. We went house shopping. He bought the house. The mortgage, I've never paid a mortgage in my life. Never paid my own mortgage in all of my life. I see a door. And therein, he took a chainsaw and cut a door out of the side of the house so that there could be a private door to go upstairs and make an apartment. That was really something. And now recently I had to brace that floor because he didn't cut it out right. But the chainsaw, and my mouth was, I see a door. The next was when we were I was not happy traveling to my work in the next town. And he said, you don't have to go through that pressure. You start your own business and you'll just go in the front room there. I see a wall. So Billy Bob says, I see a wall. And there was the wall. And I had my office. The next thing he came to, clients were coming in. And once in a while, somebody needed to go to the loo. Yeah, needed a toilet. Had to go out of my office into our private living quarters and go into our private bathroom, where Billy Bob wanted his own privacy. He says, I can't have people coming through here. I said, but they have to go to the bathroom. What am I going to do? I don't care. I see a toilet. And in went the toilet. In the office, in the corner. I learned from Billy Bob that life is just too short to sweat the small stuff. It's time to have some laughter. We're still going to make it happen. I thank Billy Bob every day for having the house that's here around me today with 2 apartments, income streams. I want you just to think about, when are you going to open the door? If this is your last day, what will you wish that you had done? Be serious all the time? Yes, or be professional and have fun. Toastmaster.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Sandra, and for reminding us that life is too short to sweat the small stuff. We'd like to move on to our next speaker, and our next speaker is Aruna Soul. Aruna is going to be evaluated by Mtati Mokanso. Mtati, please give us the objectives of Aruna's speech. Over to you.
Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters and guests, Aruna will be presenting a 5 to 7 minute speech from the Leadership Development Pathway. She will be presenting level 1, second project, a speech with a purpose. The purpose of Aruna's project is for him to learn or review basic methods for writing a speech with a defined purpose and to present a well-organized speech on any topic. Aruna requested me and all of us to focus on his storytelling skills. Back to you, Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you, Toastmaster Mtati. Aruna Soul, with trust, we win. With trust, we win. Aruna Soul, the virtual stage is yours.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster of the day. Have you ever been in a situation where you had the managing position and didn't have a leader of your team? It was my case at the beginning of my career as economist, statistician engineer in 2009 in Burkina Faso at the National Statistical Office, when I was nominated as head of department in charge of impact evaluation. My nomination has been constated by many colleagues. And the day before the first meeting as head of department, I heard a lot. Someone said, why a newcomer, just 1 year of experience, has been nominated as head of department? That is impossible. We need more experienced colleagues in this position. At that time, I had the title of head of department, but I was facing challenges to lead my team and to get work done. As Simon Sinek said, a boss has a title, a leader has a people. Unfortunately, at the midterm evaluation in June 2009, my department didn't reach its goal. They used to say about teamwork, together everyone achieves more. But without trust, a team can achieve anything. Do you want to be a great leader? Start by building trust. So, how to build trust within the team? I learned 3 important tips about building trust from my own experience. First of all, you must know your team. Focus on your interests of your team. Second, learn to manage emotion, because emotional argument solve nothing. Win through your action. And last one, but not the least, give positive feedback. Learn how to express appreciation. Before the first meeting, after the midterm evaluation, I received the resume of all of the members of my team. And I understood why some of them were frustrated. As you know, in many institutions, managing positions are based on degrees. Sometimes experience comes in the second position. Some of the members of my team disagree with the fact that I had no more experience to lead the team. And the day before the first meeting, I received all the members to discuss with them to know what are their interests, what are the problems about my position. And the day of the meeting, in 15 July 2009, I came first at the room, in the room, 15 minutes before the beginning. I saw all the members of my team enter the room one by one. We started at night. I bring with me my letter of nomination as head of department. Good morning, everyone. I hope you are doing well. As you know, I was nominated as the head of this department 7 months ago by the managing director. I consider this as nothing. I'm just there to serve you as a focal person of managing director in this department. What is important for the managing director is our achievement. And I have no doubt, and I'm confident that we will achieve our goal thanks to all of you. Raise your hand if you think you can achieve our goals and become the best department of the institution. Everyone raises his hand. Our first project was about impact evaluation in the field of education. I know I don't have more experience than most of you in the field of education. So who is volunteered to conduct this project? By asking this question, I knew exactly that Ismail had the best profile for this project. And Ismail raised his hand and became the head of his project. And he did great. by giving opportunities to all the members of my team to be involved in the activities of the department. We did great. At the end of the year, we achieved our goals and received congratulations from the managing director. What I learned from this experience is that the fact that a leader must know his team is very important. Trust all of the members of the team, because people who feel trusted do a better job. Back to you, Madam Toastmaster of the day.
Chair Modi, you are muted.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Toastmaster Aruna, and for letting us know how to build trust by building your people, managing emotions, and giving them positive feedback. We will move on to our fourth speaker today, and our fourth speaker is Lydia Wanjiko. Lydia is going to be evaluated by Nzinga JC. Nzinga, please let us know the objectives of Lydia's speech. Over to you.
Greetings. Today, Lydia will be presenting a speech pursuing her project Understanding Your Communication Style as part of the Dynamic Leadership Path, Level 2. The purpose of Understanding Your Com Style project is for the speaker to learn about different communication styles and identify her primary style. Additionally, the speech purpose is for Lydia to share the impact of her style in others. Lydia also is working on her Zoom presence. Over to you, Madam Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Nzinga. Lydia Wanjiko, performance tidbit. Performance tidbit, Lydia Wanjiko. The stage is yours.
We only have 4 months. 4 months remaining to end the year. How many of you in the room have reflected backward on what they had planned to do and evaluated whether they are about to achieve or not? Can I see through the thumb up if at all you've evaluated what you had already planned to do in 2024 before we envelope 2024? I can see our president. Thank you very much. Can see. Thank you. Thank you. Anna. Thank you. I see several have done that. And if at all you've not done, still you have 4 good months to do that. I'll give you my story. In 2022, I sat with my team and we planned very well their performance evaluation. At that particular time, I thought I had communicated well. Come the end of the year, the managers went through with them and it was not adding up. There were some gaps. They came to me with a document and they were telling me, Lydia, we did the performance appraisal and finally, this is what you're getting. I looked at the document. It was not making sense. The reason why it was not making sense, it was not quantified. What they had planned to do was not quantified. And there were no details of what they had planned to do. What did I tell them? I told them, let us come up with another day when we will sit, go through the document as we plan for 2023. As a leader, I decided to go to Toastmasters and looked at the path. Then I saw different types of communication styles. The first one, direct communication style, whereby you are straightforward, you are clear, and you give obvious, and also you are goal-oriented. The second one, it was initiating communication style. This one, you are sociable, fun-loving, and after looking at the communication style, I could relate. And at the end of it, that is where I was falling in. And the third communication style, supportive communication style. In the supportive communication style, they listen, but they don't give advice, they don't guide you. And the last one, it's analytical communication style. They deal with data. They are very clear. They are well structured. They know what they want. Then after going through those 4 different types of communication style, and I saw my primary one was initiating communication style, I told myself, Lydia, you have to add another communication style. What did I add? The second communication style that had come through the result was direct communication style, whereby now I had to be direct, I had to be clear, I had to come with some results. Then I sat down with the team, went through the document, and then I even gave them an example. When you're coming up with your KPI, key performance indicator, quantify what you're going to do. For example, if at all you're an admin assistant in finance, then you know very well that you'll be dealing with invoices. How many invoices are you foreseeing for 2023 that will come for you to process? One of them told me around 5,000. Okay, then you plan that you'll process 5,000. That is 100%. Come mid of the year, ask yourself, where am I? If at all you've done half that, then you're doing well. If at all you've not done half that, then there's a problem. Look for someone to help you, someone to mentor you, and then you'll be able to achieve what you had planned. And that is what they did. They went, planned nicely, documented it, quantified it. Then at the end of the year, they had their performance evaluation plan nicely documented. When they sat with their managers were happy and they were given outstanding, they were rated very well, they were recognized. They came to me laughing, Lydia, we've been recognized because our paces were very good, performance evaluations were very good. What did I learn from that? I learned from that when you're communicating, at times, don't blame the audience that you're communicating to, or even a team. Evaluate yourself and see where is that gap and what can you do with that gap. As Aristotle said, knowing yourself is the beginning of wisdom. And that is what helped me. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, what do I leave you with? As you figure out the remaining 4 months, reflect, get to know, or get to find out what you had planned, whether you've already achieved, and if at all you've not achieved, then ask yourself, what can I do with these remaining 4 months so that I'm able to achieve what I had already planned? It can be even in the family, what you had planned to do, or even in your business, what had you planned to do? Then come up with that solution and you're able to meet your goal. Back to you, Tiamodi.
Thank you very much, Lydia. And let's encourage her by clapping and sharing in the chat what you've taken from her speech. And thank you for reminding us that even though it is only 4 months to the end of the year, we can still redeem if there is something we feel we've not done right. So that brings us to the end of our speeches. At this point, I will ask the timer to share the speech timings in the chat, as I also ask our Zoom master to please launch the polls so that we can vote for our better speaker. Thank you, Zoom master. All right. As that is happening, Mr. Zoom master, are we done with the voting?
Seconds as per procedure because we've only had 18 people voting so far. So please continue voting for another procedure.
Madam Zoom master, I can barely hear you.
I said the procedure is 50 seconds. We're almost done. Only 19, 20 people have voted, so I'm going to leave it for 5 more seconds. But you can proceed with the meeting. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Excuse me, how do I vote? Because all I'm seeing is the results. I'm not seeing a thing where I can actually vote.
Nigel, because you are a co-host, you cannot vote.
Ah! Well, thank
All
you
right.
very much for
Thanks.
that. Thank you very much.
Great. So we want to move on to our next segment of our meeting, and that is the evaluations. So I would like to call our general evaluator, Toastmaster Mamadou. And Toastmaster Mamadou works in aviation and has a passion for speaking, training, and coaching. He lives in Nigeria with his family. Over to you, Toastmaster Mamadou. The virtual stage is yours.
Hey, to TMOD Irene, congratulations for that wonderful, wonderful session. So this is the time now we are waiting for with excitement, obviously, because the evaluation series help us evaluate, obviously, because we worked, we rehearsed, and we have performed. And in the word of Olympic medalist Elena Meyer, find your passion, set a goal, go to work, evaluate, reassess, and repeat. So we went to work, and now the stage is set for our amazing evaluation crew. So I will now call the evaluator of the toast, who is no other than our Toastmaster Paramjit, who believes that embracing change through leadership succession is a positive step toward achieving growth and excellence. To evaluate Claudette Thomas for the toast, Toastmaster Paramjit, please.
Thank you very much, General Evaluator. Hello, everyone. In our lives, there are a lot of enormous times when we come across a situation to either to take up the new leadership roles or train our next in line leaders for succession. There's always a painful, challenging, and sometimes joyful moments along with the transition. And Toastmaster Claudette, you very professionally motivate and reminded us to embrace the changes through leadership succession with a well-prepared, well-delivered toast. And the things which stood out for your presentation were you delivered the toast with a very high energy, kept everybody engaged. And this was evident from the tonality and the natural synchronized gestures. And the words, every word was very clear and given a stress on every word with the proper tonality to give it its strength, the word. The second one, bringing up your own story testified that embracing challenges will be maybe challenging, but ultimately it leads to growth and achieve excellence. The things which you can enhance your presentation are pauses added value to the words spoken. You are speaking at a very high pace. Of course, the time is only 3 minutes, but pauses add a value, and it gives some time to audience to grab the meaning what you're saying about. and the information were well, absorbed before the next words are spoken. Second, you are well placed in the Zoom box, but either your camera was little down or up, so your eye contacts were being lost between the time when you were speaking, and this was losing contact and engagement with the audience also. However, like with your tone, with your energy, and your powerful presentation, if you added pauses as well as your eye contact, you will become one of the best toast proposer in the town. Over to you, Toast General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Paramjit. Thank you for a very comprehensive, uplifting, and encouraging evaluation. You did very well, and we really like to hear Toastmaster Paramjit for his evaluation always. What's as an evaluation is also a speech. You did well in terms of hand gesture toward the end, but it would have helped as well if in the beginning it was also like that, as we love to see from you as so often. Thank you very much once again. Up next is Yusli Joseph for the evaluation of the TMOD Irene. For Yusli, the theme is a call to feel comfortable in passing the baton and trust in others' ability to continue with the work. How beautiful is that? Yusli, the stage is yours.
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster, Mr. General Evaluator. Greeting colleague Toastmasters and guests, and especially to Toastmaster Irene, our Toastmaster of the day. First, congratulations, Toastmaster Irene, for this work you've done as Toastmaster of the day. You brought a wonderful and great theme for today's meeting. In terms of preparation, you have created the WhatsApp group to facilitate communication with all the role players 3 weeks before. I think it was on August 6th, since you have created the WhatsApp group. Congratulations for that. And you shared the theme of the meeting. And there was a lot of communication on the WhatsApp group with all the role players. Congratulations for that. It's a good way to exchange and to plan the meeting. The other aspect that I want to, that I will evaluate you on is today at the meeting, how you managed and did this meeting today. You had a great and accurate introduction. You put an appropriate story regarding the Olympic game. That was really great for your introduction. And you were calm during all the meeting. That was great. And after all speakers, you did a wrap-up of the speakers' key point. Congratulations for that. During the week, as I asked you what aspect regarding your personal goals that you wanted to evaluate it on, and now I will give you some aspect that you should work on according to your personal goals. The first is the connection with the role players. And the WhatsApp group, you sent, I think, one message. You didn't talk too much, and we can see that today because you didn't have introduction for the speakers. You had introduction, I think, for one speaker or at least 2 speakers, but you didn't have any introduction, and it was someone else asking for the introduction for you. When you are the Toastmaster of the day, take the lead and don't be afraid to the members. Even if they don't fill the form, you can send them some private message to ask them for their introduction and their thought on the topic or on the theme of the meeting that can make it more brilliant, more wonderful for you. And the other aspect that you wanted me to evaluate you on is your enthusiasm, how you keep your enthusiasm throughout the meeting. You started good, you were confident, you had good voice, and as soon as something an issue happened, you lost this enthusiasm. When Nigel talked, and you completely lost this enthusiasm because it was talking, and it's like, oh, he's talking, I don't know what to do. But you're still the leader. Even if someone else is opening their microphone, you are still the leader, and you are still leading this meeting. So don't be afraid of the member. Keep your enthusiasm throughout the meeting. The other thing that you And so, but you get back this enthusiasm at the end, at the last speaker, and you are leading as well. If you ask something for one speaker, don't make them jealous. Ask the same thing, the same kind of enthusiasm or encouragement for all the speakers. If you ask the members to send messages in the chat to encourage speakers, if you did it for one, you have to do it for all the speakers so that no one can feel left out. This is what I wanted you to work on. And first, congratulations for your role. And we have learned from you and waiting for you for the next slide. Back to you, Mr. General Evaluator.
All right. Thank you very much, Yusli. What a thorough assessment and evaluation of the TMOD. You started from the preparation of the meeting itself to the meeting, to the delivery, and you taken into consideration all the requests from Irene, and you mentioned that, and also encourage her to ensure that she motivates every speaker. Thank you very much. Other than that, I have nothing else to add. So next, Ray Rivero, we coming to you. When you think of immersion change, you look no further than what happens each year with every Toastmaster club. Ray thinks that of change as continuity of goals, accomplishments in the past year and of goals to accomplish in the next. That is what transitioning means to him, to aim for the new goals and to celebrate the previous accomplishments. To evaluate Hannah on a dynamic leadership path, writing a speech with purpose. Ray Rivero.
Thank you very much, Mr. General Evaluator. Hannah, I love this speech about the trouble that one little Granny Smith apple made on your trip. I loved how you kept your eyes focused on the camera. When we're online doing a speech, the camera is the audience. Though we like to watch the gallery for the reaction, we always have to focus on the camera. And I loved how you put the enhancements of your body language and vocal variety into your speech. And most importantly, I love the use of the Granny Smith prop toward the end. Your additional gestures to enhance your points, starting with your introduction, your check-in form, and even the customs official, added and kept the audience engaged in your story. This little hint of foreshadowing that you did at the very beginning after your introduction, it gives the audience attention like, this is what's coming. I'm not going to spoil it for you, but it's coming. I love how you sprinkled that into the story. Now, a couple things to work on. Well, with you, it's because you're such an accomplished speaker. This is kind of a gray area between what to work on and how to challenge yourself. So let's explore that gray area together. One idea, this is something that all of us can do, is that instead of I don't know if you made your title at the beginning, the middle, or the end of your preparations, but sometimes you do it at the end of the preparations after you outline your speech, such as the Granny Smith title. That was very good. I'm sure that you went through some titles like, how did Granny Smith ruin my New Zealand vacation? Is Granny Smith a person? But you showed that Granny Smith was an apple. And another idea is to look at combining vocal variety and body language. Yes, I know it's kind of like this. It's a little challenging to do, but we are advanced Toastmasters, and we have to challenge ourselves, even with some ideas, such as checking off. Blah, blah, blah. This, check. That. I'm still asleep from a 14-hour flight. Little things like that to kind of enhance the the feeling, to capture what you were going through. Maybe a little bit of sleepiness in the facial expression. Overall, well done. And watch out for those pesky apples, no matter what the brand. Over to you, Mr. General Evaluator.
I love it. Ray, congratulations. And he actually walked the talk when he was talking about the additional gestures of Hannah Schmidt. And we can see that he was really prepared and very intentional. He brought an apple. Now we're just wondering, was he eating the apple or is he going to eat the apple? It shows that he is really committed to raising the bar, because he rightly mentioned we are an advanced club and we have to do things differently. Well done. Other than that, I have nothing more to add. So we're moving on to our next evaluator, Marie Cousin, on the stage to share her comments on Sandra Walk's speech on the track of engage your audience with humor. Laughter is a gift. So is feedback. Feedback is the gift. So now the doors are wide open to evaluate the speech titled, I See the Door. Over to you, Marie Cousin.
Imagine for a moment that you are standing before a mysterious door. It appears ordinary, but it holds infinity possibilities. This is exactly what Sandra did today, by inviting us to cross that threshold, not only to share her unique perspective, but also to reveal what, for her, transformed the ordinary into a source of laughter. Through her speech entitled, I See a Door, she offered us not just a window into a world, but also a key to understanding the essence of humor from her own perspective. Over the course of a few minutes, she guided us with grace and lightness, using carefully chosen anecdotes to illustrate her points. We laughed, we reflected, and most importantly, we discovered a new way of seeing the world through her eyes. Your description of the content of your structure was very detailed, perhaps too much so. The time spent on description could have been better allocated to anecdotes or examples. Don't spend too long talking about what you're going to do. Just do it. Life is too short. The use of rhetorical devices was remarkable. I see a door. I see a wall. I see a toilet. Surprisingly, the scope of your examples narrowed for the coherence of your speech. This surprised me because the title of your speech suggested we were heading toward a broader universe. The notion of time is being so short was present throughout the speech, subtly implying to your audience that regardless of the anecdotes from your life, and thus from ours, every minute should be enjoyed. In short, with your code, be professional and have fun. In summary, your speech was distinguished by a clear and well-structured delivery, supported by relevant and coherent content. Your ability to engage the audience through well-controlled gestures and effective vocal modulation enhanced the impact of your message. To continue improving, you could explore additional techniques to vary the pace and further enrich the interaction with the audience. Overall, your performance left a very positive impression, reflecting your advanced communication skill. Don't take life too seriously anyway. We will never get out alive. Over to you, Mr. General Evaluator.
All right, bravo, Marie, bravo. And you rightly said, with regard to what the theme means to you, only change is eternal. It's the breakneck speed we have to get used to. And your evaluation started with Imagine. I love that. I really love that. And what it is, a well-structured, refined evaluation, starting with introduction, development, and conclusion. Really well done. And also your hand gestures were brilliant. What I would love more of is to, instead of, we had the impression that at some point you were playing with your hand when you joined them. So keep them moving as you brilliantly did at most of the time. So next, Ntati, we're coming to you. She will provide her evaluation of Aruna's speech titled, "We Trust, We Win." Aruna is in pursuit of his leadership development path, writing a speech with purpose. So the floor is yours, Ntati, please.
A boss has a title, a leader has the people. Toastmaster of the day, fellow Toastmasters, especially Aruna. This quotation grabbed my attention, and it's a phrase that contributed to the effectiveness of your speech. You involved dialogue in your speech. Do you want to be a great leader? Focus on the interest of your team. You had indicated that you want us to focus in your presentation. You have a hero in your speech, that is the managing director who promoted you. A very effective voice projection. Everything you said, you asked, have you ever? I'll have the following recommendations. First one, may consider doing away with the unpleasant pleasantries. Thank you, Madam Toastmaster, because we were greeted when we opened the meeting. I could not succeed in coining the title of the speech with the story. With trust, we win. The story that was narrated was mainly about how you were promoted with a team. Also, you may consider reducing the number of I as a leader when you make your speech. It was a very powerful speech. I could not get how you involved other members of your team besides Abdul in when you said you involved all members of the team, but I could not get how you involved them. You presented a very great and effective personal story, which held my attention throughout. In summary, congratulations and keep on telling your personal stories with passion and vigor as you have already done. However, don't unpleasant pleasantries. A boss has a title and a leader has the people. Back to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you. Thank you, Intati. Avoiding unpleasant pleasantries. How beautiful is that? Thank you very much for, it was breaking. I don't know if it was on my end. Apart from that, you did a very great job. Actually, this the evaluation session will have been very beautiful, but we have to find a way to miss someone. So I'm going back to Vinod for the evaluation of the education speaker. For Vinod, change and succession means opportunities and possibilities. Yes, opportunities and possibilities. And I missed the opportunity to give the floor to Vinod. So Vinod is going to evaluate the educational speech prepared to speak professionally that was delivered by Nicole Miller Douglas. The stage is yours, Vinod.
Thank you, General Evaluator. Toastmaster Nicole, Leadership Succession Planning. It was the title of your speech, it was the topic of your speech, and it was the message of your speech. What I liked about your speech and where I felt you were very effective was what we do in Level 1 Project 2, research and presenting. I don't know about your background, but you really come across as a very solid researchers. You presented some 5 research. One of the research was very latest from 2022, and you gave us 2 or 3 frameworks also, models also. So that shows that you are someone who really likes to research and present the project, whatever you take on. The second thing that I felt was effective was your voice and enthusiasm throughout the speech. You have a very calm and soothing voice, like you can keep listening to it continuously. At least I can listen to it for more than 1 hour. So amazing for that. Now, the point of development. You had mentioned to focus on the transition. So I will be focusing on structure, transition, and the Zoom presence. Let's start with the structure. There were 3 things I would like to mention in the opening of the speech. The first is you said thank you. I would, as an advanced speaker, I would like you to throw a hook and then get into the thank you or salutations. Second, you were waiting for the slides. Now, as I always tell this to many Toastmasters, the power is in your point, not in the PowerPoint. Even if you have to use PowerPoints, keep it to bare minimum, or at least not in the first 45 seconds. Let the audience feel your energy in the first 45 seconds. You could have started by saying an ancient Greek philosopher said, embrace the change, or whatever you had said. And then you could have started and done that. One more thing that you mentioned in the beginning was leadership speak embraces change that is inevitable. You made a claim, but you did not prove it. You left it over there. I was looking why you said that. Now, in the body, it was more of information sharing. What I would suggest is use a framework that is what, so what, now what. So what is the succession planning and show your research? So what, how is it beneficial? Now what, how does Toastmasters, how does leadership speak embraces it? Now, remember, normal organization and Toastmaster is different. In Toastmasters, we elect our leaders. In organization, they promote based on merit or who is closer to the boss. That is a totally different story. So you could have dwelled more into how the succession planning is happening in the last 2 years, done some research with our current ExCom and said we are preparing 4 or 5 people for the next. That I felt would have been more effective. Again, conclusion would be for leaders, we are not just sharing our point. We need to sell our point. So to envelope your speech or my speech, I would say that change is the only constant. So keep changing and playing with your script. With your ability to do research and your soothing voice, I am sure you will motivate people and let them embrace change. Thank you, and back to you, G.
Vinod, pardon me. I would have actually deprived us from this amazing evaluation, uplifting, encouraging, and a lot of guidance for our educational speaker to shine even brighter. I love where Vinod said the power is in your point, not in your PowerPoint. How amazing is that? And the what, the so what, and now what? You really did a great and fantastic job. I understand now why everyone was calling me to go back to the evaluator of our educational speech. Thank you very much. And now to our final evaluator, Lydia, who will be evaluating our fourth and final speaker. The speaker spoke on understanding your communication style. Please welcome Nzinga on the floor. Nzinga.
Dear Toastmasters Lydia, you excelled today by meeting the purpose of your speech. You did that by sharing the impact of your communication styles, not just one, but two, in others. You delivered a well-structured speech where you shared first how a communication style you thought worked well did not produce the results that were expected. Interestingly, you also, pursuing to your path and to the resources available to you, you paused, you reconvened with the team to using the direct communication style, give the guidance and the direction that the team needed. Your face highlighted with proud for achieving those goals. You also engaged the audience. Right at the beginning, you asked a question, yes. We are all thinking the end of the year is approaching fast. And you kept track of the responses. You kept us on hold. It made sense on your conclusion when you recommended the audience to evaluate themselves. The takeaway to consider what can be done to get to the results intended to by the end of the year. You may want to work on, though, Lydia, on your gestures. You used many gestures and some were effective. Your the list was also effective. However, there were too many gestures, the same gestures for different messages. Consider working on that. And also the emphasis you want to bring to different types of messages. When things go well, when you're worried, consider also that. I would also suggest you to challenge yourself to do some role playing. Why not? The first part of the message where you thought you had communicated well, but through some gaps identified during the performance appraisals, people are not happy. Why not extrapolate a bit more on that? Here's some food for thought. In summary, well done, very effective purpose of the speech delivery. Share the impact of communication style in others. Consider the gestures according to the message. And great takeaway for the audience. Thank you, Mr. General Evaluator.
All right. Thank you very much for the evaluation. You really did a great job. And I like the transition from what she did well to what she had to consider. You rightly said the takeaways to consider. And you have to use your own words. Well done, very effective evaluation. And also you talked about hand gestures. I love the part where you also started really modeling or walking the talk when you move to that recommendation on a hand gesture. What I would love is for you also to start with the hand gestures, and really it will go a long way in improving even more. Thank you very much. So I think we are done with the evaluation part. To our timer, Terence, please, can you share with us the chat the time for the evaluations? And now turning over to our grammarian, Nukawe Ngozi, for her report.
Thank you, Mr. General Evaluator, fellow Toastmasters and guests. I'll first start with the word of the day. I might have missed some of the speakers that have used it, but I've noted only 4 speakers, Nicole, Sandra, Lydia, and Vinod, who used it. In terms of what I thought had never been pronounced so well, it's only one that I've picked up. One speaker said, everyone raise their hand. I think he should have said, everyone rose their hands. Then I will just go through few of what I've noticed. I've noted a lot, but I've decided to pick only few where the English language was used in a very good way for me. The way it was used and pronounced, it captured my attention. The first one was, succession is not an event, but a journey. The second one was, in the spirit of change. What is done in leadership speak is the assimilation for the real world. Another one, jobs fill up your pocket and adventures fill your soul. We make plans, but life happens. Another one was that trusted people do better. Knowing yourself is the beginning of wisdom. That's the last one that I will just cite is that the point is not in your PowerPoint, but your point. Back to you, Mr. Evaluator.
Thank you, Nukawe, for a very brilliant grammarian report. Well done, and with smile. Thank you. It brightens the screen. Thank you very much. Now, can we go ahead and post, please, Mrs. Zoom Master, the poll for the best evaluator for today's meeting? As we are waiting for the poll, I'm going to turn it to our one and only Master Coach Bram Memon, who will give us his feedback on how well we did today on critical thinking and evaluation. Bram, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Wonderful, Mr. General Evaluator. If I can just turn this over. Thank you. So this will be the penultimate time I'll be coming here as a trainer, and next week is probably the last time I will be here. We have created certain tools for the evaluators and speakers that they will be referring to make sure that they are getting better. It's up to, of course, individuals if they want to get better or not, but we'll provide all the tools that we can because this is an advanced club. The reason why I'm here, of course, is simply to make sure that we are following certain criteria for an advanced club in terms of evaluations. The first criteria is, of course, being an advanced club, your presentations should have that foresight of what is it that the audience is really getting from my presentation. Is always going to be about the audience, and how have you structured your speech, and how the evaluator is looking at the speech to evaluate and give a better feedback. So having said that, the key thing about a presentation, how the presentation is structured, is of course the conclusion, the call to action. We put our presentations together with what is the call to action? Why am I putting this presentation together? What will it do for the audience? So that's how you should be structuring your presentation, is to begin with what's the call to action? What's the conclusion? And based on that, how am I going to open the speech? What is the title of my speech? And how am I going to construct so that it comes to a good, smooth conclusion and an audience takeaway, and ending perhaps on a high note, so that the audience really gets it. And the other thing is, of course, did the presentation inform, inspire, motivate, persuade, entertain, all those things? What did the presentation really do? So that's what we have to really look at in a presentation, or how the presentation is structured, both for the speaker and for the evaluator. This is what we really are doing here in an advanced club. These are just suggestions. If you want to take this to heart, fine. If not, I hope you do, because this is going to really fast track your progress into the future. So having said that, ladies and gentlemen, just our presentations are getting much better today. From today's presentation, I can hear that the leadership speaker and the Toastmaster of the day did collude well, or cooperated and collaborated well, to be able to come up with a theme and the education session, which were congruent and aligned. Vinod has given an excellent evaluation for the education speaker. I would like to add that, of course, and Vinod has said that, what was it? The power is in your point, not your PowerPoint. And absolutely, the speaker used extensively a PowerPoint, and we didn't see the speaker at all. We just saw the slides, and the slides were out there with a lot of stuff written on it that we could have just read if we wanted to. So we have to be careful about how that is presented. But it was presented well in terms of how the title and the conclusion, and in between everything, that how it was sandwiched, and we not had that down very well packed. And then I'll just mention one other speaker, Lydia. You were all about communication style. And your conclusion, however, was a little bit off from the style. We did get your style and what communicating effectively means. However, your conclusion was all about, if I can just refer to my notes here, was your question was, what can we achieve at the end, right? What can we achieve at the end of, by the year end? We have 4 months to go. That is more of an inspirational type of speech, rather than informing us about your communication style, or how to get to know our own communication style. So there was a mismatch between the communication style and your conclusion about what are you doing for the next 4 months. What had that got to do with communication, right? So we have to really think about, what am I speaking about, and how am I going to conclude, rather than patch a few ideas together sometimes. Overall, of course, Lydia, your presentation was effective in terms of, we got to know why the project was derailed and how you brought it back through the communication style. But it's just the ending part, that one little paragraph, right, that we've already clinched it to the next level. That's all. Having said that, I will hand the control back to our general evaluator for his final conclusion and remarks. Over to you, Mamadou.
All right. Thank you very much, Bram, for these nuggets of wisdom. We really thrive on feedback, and thank you very much. Before I turn it over to the Toastmaster of the day, just a brief overview of how the meeting went. Obviously, we started on time. It's a culture here. We start on time. A very good job to the Sergeant at Arms and also our TMD for introducing us to the theme of the day, and for doing very well. The Zoom master did really well, and at some point there were noises. She had to, obviously, instead of looking for who was, they had the mic open, she just muted everyone, and then unmuted the speaker. Our toast went quiet at some point. She really did well, and also our she guided our educational speaker who was trying to find her ways to share the slides. And as Bram already said, we really improving, and as an advanced club, we're really thriving on feedback, and the feedbacks were really nuggets of wisdom as well. So I hope we all will take the time. I sometimes take the time to go on the YouTube channel to watch, and also watch my performance and see how I can learn also from those feedback, from the content, also from the speakers. Thank you very much. Well done, everyone. And we delivered on our promise, and I'm now ready to turn it over to our dear, brilliant, and great TMOD. Irene, back to you.
Thank you very much, Mr. General Evaluator, and for your feedback to our meeting. At this point, I would like to call Toastmaster Mohammed Azimuddin to give us the thought of the day, of our theme. Over to you, Toastmaster Mohammed.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day. So necessity is the mother of invention. So I am thinking that what are the needs and requirements that has invented the need for the reasons to impact on my thought. So I found three important factors that are experience, knowledge, and beliefs. So experience means the events, happenings, and the challenges all around us. That is our experience. Knowledge is that creates a critical thinking in us and make us do or make the informed decisions, and also to understand the complex concept of life around us. And belief is that what we want to respect and we want to be respected for, that is the belief. So I tried to find out in today's meeting that what the speakers have done to impact my thought process today. So first, the Nicole Miller, she presented the succession plan, and her experience was the leadership and succession plan. And the knowledge based on identification of leadership talent, development of leadership skills. And her belief is that the succession plan, every leader must have succession plan. And that plan is not only to learn leadership ourselves, but to help others to learn leadership skills. Only then the succession plan will work. Then the speaker, Hannah Smith, she presented her experience of custom control desk based on the knowledge of that there is some importance of picking the checklist at the custom desk. And there is a thin line. If you do mistake, that will make you a loss of $1 million. And the belief she had here that once you think that you are doing the right thing, and then you are clean and you are safe. And that belief today she presented to me. Then Sandra Walk's experience of loss of innocence, and the knowledge she has presented today is that everyone tries to be perfect. And people are looking for perfectionism. But the belief she had is that life is very short and we need to enjoy every bit of it. That she believes in. And Aruna saw, and he has experience of team inconvenience and the knowledge of feedback, positive feedback that can repair the damaged team links. And the belief he has is that a trust can build a team. That need to build a trust in the team. And that belief in this trusting the team can help a team to rebuild. And then Lydia, she has the performance of evaluation of the team. And the knowledge she has depicted here is that a team must have some key performance indicators, and also the communication styles among the teams. But she believed in that knowing yourself is the most important and effective skills that can help you to eliminate the gap of the performance. And that believing in that yourself is the strongest one that comes up as the factor that impact your thinking process. So at the end, I can summarize that today, these three factors has impacted my thoughts. One is that life is very short and we need to enjoy every bit of it. And that build a trust among the team to succeed and make your succession plan. And the third is that know yourself to eliminate the gap in your performance. Congratulations, speakers. You are successful to impact on my thinking process. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Muhammad Azimuddin, for your thoughts on the theme. Now, just like the athletes I had talked about earlier at the beginning of our meeting, their dream is to secure a podium finish. And for us tonight, I would like to thank all the role takers, the general evaluators, the speakers, the evaluators, and all the people behind the scenes who have ensured that this meeting went as flawlessly as could be, that they passed the baton on flawlessly without dropping it, and ensuring that we have gotten a podium finish. At this point, I would like to ask the PR Master to kindly share the results of our voting. Display our certificates, please. All right, as we wait for that to happen, congratulations, Hannah Schmidt, for being our best speaker, our better speaker today. All right, thank you, Mr. PR Master. And congratulations to Toastmaster Vinod Panikar for being our best evaluator. So I want to thank each and every one of you, even for our guests and all the members who have stayed to this point, because without you, who would we have been presenting to? So at this point, thank you very much for having me, and I would like to hand the baton back to Mr. President. Over to you.
Irene, great job as the Toastmaster of the day today. Now we will talk to our guests who are here and see who is here. So I'm just looking at my screen here, and I see that Mike Shri from Brampton. Brampton is like a few miles up north from me. Mike, are you there? So all the guests, if you can put on your mics. Mike.
Yeah, Bram. Yeah, I'm here. Yeah, I'm just listening.
Awesome. How are you doing, my friend?
I'm doing great, Bram.
Mm-hmm. So what did you think of the meeting? And did you have any takeaways?
Oh yeah, a lot of this is my second time I attended this meeting, and I think you guys are awesome. So I just thought I didn't have anything to do, so why not attend your meeting? And since I have the invite, and you guys have lots of speakers, a lot of evaluations, and a lot of things to take away. So actually, thank you, Bram.
And would you like to be a member?
Maybe, because I'm already a member of 2-3 clubs. So if I join your club, I will be again fourth fourth or fifth club. So let me see. But I like your club so much. There are lots of people there. I haven't seen any other clubs with so many participants in online.
And you won't. Not normally. If you come next week, we'll have about 80 or 90 people. So
yeah, I will try to see.
not a problem. Mike, if you're a member of that many clubs, you know, and being in leadership speak is really steep learning. So you need to really focus in one or two clubs if you're a member here. So we wish you well. And if you want to sort of transfer your membership or something, you know, so that you are really learning what it is, then you're welcome to join us. And as you know, past international president John Lau today joined us. He was here with us earlier on. So in international presidents just jump in and join our club, the meetings from time to time. They don't do that with many other clubs like they do here. So because of our reputation. All right, Mike, take care, and we'll see you next week, and then let's decide whether you really want to be a member.
Sure. Thank you.
Wonderful. Okay, now, Noja Barnwell, are you here? Noja Barnwell is in Mississauga, which is like just
Yes, I'm here.
Hello, you are out for a walk. Yeah?
So my take, to be honest, I wasn't listening very attentively because I am heading to my daughter's. She is leaving to go to university, and I am just heading there. I took my morning walk. So whatever I listen to, I always see it as an opportunity for growth, and I'm glad that I joined. And I'm trying to manage my emotions as I approach her. I'm just a couple of minutes away, so I'm trying to manage that. So yes, but all in all, it's a pleasure. It was a pleasure being here, and that's it. Thanks.
Welcome, and please do come and join us next week. You know, and then decide after that. You know, if you want to join from October onwards or so on. So that'll be great.
Okay, no problem. Thanks a lot. Okay.
Awesome, wonderful. And the next guest that I see here is Marlene Miril or Munislavia Boboni. All right, I don't think. Oh, Monisilvia, how are you?
I'm well, thank you.
Which country are you from?
I'm from Kenya.
From Kenya, habari yako?
Mzuri.
Samaje? Unapenda hii meeting hii?
The meeting was okay, but I joined in late. But I'm happy to see Sadia. We're in the same club.
Oh, wow.
I joined recently. Yeah, and I'm loving it here.
Good, awesome. And were you thinking of a membership or are you just visiting us?
I'm a member of SEMA Toastmaster. Yes.
And so were you thinking of a dual membership with Leadership Speak?
I didn't listen into the speakers today, just got in when the evaluators were giving their remarks, but I think then on the next thing, I'll join fully.
Sure, not a problem. Irene, since you know Irene, she'll fill you in with our details, and then please come back next week. Enjoy the meeting. Thank you very much. And Maureen Moodley, how are you? From South Africa.
Hello, Bram. How are you doing?
I'm doing awesome. How are you doing?
I'm very well, thank you. And I just wanted to say thank you very much. I just joined. Sorry, I got my camera off. I can't put it on. Please, I apologize. But I had a wonderful experience joining the Leadership Speak meeting today. I was so enlightened. I learned so much. And so, yes, thank you. I had a wonderful experience, and I definitely will come and join in again. And I'm also just visiting other clubs and, just gaining, just from everyone. So thank you so much, everyone. There was so much to learn and take away today.
You're welcome. You know, for those of you who are guests here, next week, Saturday, past international president Matt Kinsey will be here, and he will be delivering a keynote, Lies Leaders Tell, or Lies Leaders Believe in. And the meeting theme is Leaders Create Trust. So different sides of the same coin. It's going to be a very interesting meeting next week. So please do come by. And 2 weeks ago, we had Lark Dolly just join the meeting. She wasn't really invited to do a keynote, but she just joined the meeting. Today, John Lau, past international president, joined us as well. So as you can see, this club is one of those clubs where international presidents just come in and drop by or come and do a keynote, and they are good with that. So you learn a lot when you join this club. We will be having World Champions of Public Speaking as well come by in October and November, and so there's a lot of learning to be done here. And if you join the club, you'll get the benefit of that. Andrea Hedrington, how are you, Andrea?
Good morning, Toastmasters. I am well. How are you?
I'm doing awesome. So good to see you. How did you find the meeting? Did you have any takeaways?
Yeah, I found the meeting engaging and excellent. I'm only a member of one club, and just after listening to this club, I think I'm going to join this one as well. It'll be one of the 2 clubs that I intended to join. I really enjoyed the meeting. I enjoyed the evaluators. I'm reaching everyone from the United States Virgin Islands. So thank you so much for having me. Great meeting, guys.
Wonderful. And I believe
by the way, I didn't turn on my camera because I'm getting ready to get on a flight. So I'm changing and doing lots of things, packing and everything while I'm listening to the meeting as well.
Wonderful, Andrea. And safe travels wherever you're traveling to. Did you fill in our guest book by any chance so that I can get in touch with you?
No, I didn't fill it in. I didn't see it. Is it in the chat?
Yeah, Hannah is going to put the link right now. So if you can click that link and just fill in that so we can connect with you.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Andrea. Now let's have a look. Who else do we have here? I think we've covered all our guests, I believe. And since we have, or is there any guests that I haven't covered, put up your hand where I can talk to you. If not, I will pass this back on to Irene. Madam Toastmaster of the day, it's all yours.
Thank you, Mr. President. At this point, I want to declare this meeting officially adjourned. And Mr. Zoom Master, if you can stop.